I took my annual trip to the New York City Garment District to do some gallivanting and shopping. This year, I went to Hey Feather and Trim and Lulu Buttons, which are two places that I have either never been to before or have not been to since I was a little kid. I also made a stop at M&J Trimmings, of course. Feeling a little bit stressed and like not myself lately. So let's do what always makes me feel better and look at my craft supplies. Okay, so I went to Hey Feather and Trim specifically for feathers and maybe feather trim. I've definitely flashed my feathers in other videos, so we don't really need to like go through these, but basically my white feather selections. I'm hoping to make a fun headpiece for dinner en blanc, so TBD on what these turn into. Okay, also at Hey Feather and Trim, I got bags and bags of gigantic rhinestones. Now, you might be wondering, like, why did you get so many giant rhinestones, Allie? And to that, I say, to make more of these bags. I crocheted a bunch of, like, these little, not quite a market bag, but an evening market bag for the pink retreat. And, you know, I sold a few, but I just feel really strongly that this is the cutest bag in the world. But I only had a handful of these giant rhinestones, so I have been looking online for months to find rhinestones this big and in good condition, with no luck. And then I walk into Hey Feather and Trim, and immediately on my left there is a sales section on giant rhinestones. Huh? They had like this Jaguar's turquoise color, and although it's very similar to the other blue, I mean, like, I could argue that they're incredibly different, but when you're like in your shopping mindset, the thought comes up where it's like, are they too similar? And my answer was no, so I got both. Oh, look how fun. Oh, and actually, showing them off to myself, the cuts are different. How interesting is that? So I'm excited for these. And the only color that they had in these big circles was this fuchsia, and I got it. These weren't the best condition. They still have like the little mold break off piece here, but as long as it's not on the front, as long as the front is fine, I am cool with that, because this I can always shave off and sand down. At M&J, I just grabbed 4 pretty basic like lace and gingham trims just so I could get that 20% off, and some cool buttons. My M&J Trimmings buttons were a lot less expensive than my Lulu buttons, but it's a totally different button game. These felt like really fresh to me. They also, for some reason, were kind of giving me Bottega Loewe vibes. I'm not exactly sure why. I can't like pinpoint why. They might be a dupe of something, and that's what's coming to mind. I also got these, which I don't know if they're supposed to be this, but they look like the inside of a tree trunk. And working in the timber industry, I just felt really inspired to get them. And I kind of want to replace the regular buttons of an Oxford shirt with these timber buttons. Okay, I got a few more from M&J, but this is the last one I think I'm going to show off. It reminded me of like a film canister rather. And I got these in 3 sizes. They're translucent with that solid back, so it kind of gives them a little bit of dimension. I don't know, I just thought they were so cool. And finally, some showstoppers from Lulu Buttons, which I need to do like a dedicated video to. Lulu Buttons is my new extreme fascination, especially the fella who works there and all of his rules. I'm obsessed. I love him. This little turtle was probably one of the first buttons that I saw when I walked in, and I was like, I need one of those. Ironically, I almost forgot to go back and get some of them. And then he was like in the same package or the same box as these little fishies. Oh my gosh, do I love a fish button. You know, it's like when everybody was talking about sardine summer, I was like, I've been way ahead of you this whole time. You might have seen my video about the leaf buttons that I left behind, but these are the leaf buttons that came with me. These are carved out of the seed of some sort of tropical plant. He was describing it to me. I forget the name of the fruit that this comes from, but these are made out of seeds. And he also said they were vintage. I think these were from the 70s. So some cool selection there. And then these are just plastic, but I thought they were so cute. Again, this needs a dedicated video, but I did get the most exquisite, like, what upper echelon above me in spades, these gorgeous 1960s vintage Portuguese cloisonné buttons. Say that 5 times. And as a Florida girly, I needed a gator. Go Gator buttons.